This is a vital and heartbreaking video about gangstalking. Remember that they're changing my voice. I assure you by the time that I'm done with this video, you'll know that gangstalking is real and you'll have a good idea as to why it's occurring. First, let's start off with this very famous person, Harley Quinn, and let's connect her to the recent Nashville school shooting. Rather unfortunate tragedy that occurred where several adults and several children were killed by somebody with several assault rifles and at least one handgun, as the story goes at this point. Okay, this video is not about gun control. This video is about gangstalking, okay, organized psychological operations that I have many witnesses on record that prove definitively that it occurs. Okay, so I have witnesses that show you that this occurs and it's happening to me. Okay, so first of all, notice Harley Quinn is holding here a sign that you hold when you get locked up, you know, in popular culture. Okay, here she has a pistol in her hand. Here she has a baseball bat. Here it says meet Harley Quinn's kid. Okay, she has a baseball bat, and here she has dynamite. So she has her own kind of cult, and it includes kind of hereditary gene expression and reproduction, like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, what have you. Now, read very carefully. This is very important. Harley Quinn girl. Harley Quinn is a clown or buffoon, meaning the boys are raging with hormones and the girls are fools who give them what they want. Okay, so she is the idea of somebody who has a certain mentality that's often associated with being sexually molested as a child. Okay, that causes her to spread her legs for people. And here she has the rainbow hair to show that she's confused about her identity, right? The gender neutral, which confuses you about your sexual orientation and your gender identity, right? It's a form of confusion, right? Set being a deity of confusion, right? Zeus, Jupiter. Okay, these are forms of Set. These are the counterparts of Set in Greek and Roman culture, respectively. Here we see Harlequin. The meaning of Harlequin is a character in comedy and pantomime with a shaved head, masked face, variegated tights, and wooden, and so on and so forth. So, again, I don't click these sites because I'll get hacked. Sometimes just looking up these terms, I get cyber attacked to my phone. So I had to cut it off there. You know, if you feel the need to, if you're about to reset your phone anyway or whatever, you know, go ahead and look up, you know, the parts that are missing and you put in the comments. Okay. Here it says that it is the idea of a mocker, right? Someone in a comedy, right? Comedy is usually making fun of something or mocking something. A pantomime, like a mime, right? Pantomime, okay? A certain type of mime with a shaved head, a masked face, a variegated tights, and some wooden something or something. It's like a mime, a puppet, right? It's part of a script. Okay, so somebody has wrote this script is the idea of Harley Quinn. And here it says Suicide Squad. And part of gangstalking is bringing people to suicide, and they're trying to bring me to suicide, and so on and so forth. Okay, and I'm not worried about that in the slightest. You know, we all die anyway. So whatever happens, happens. Okay. This is important that you understand these ideas. Now let's go over here. Here's the Kiss, the rap group, the rock and roll group. Okay, heavy metal, what have you. Okay, tongue out, common sign of Satan. Here we see Sabotage. It looks like the Kiss group. Okay, and it's Kiss. It has to do with romance, right? Here we have, I don't know how well you can see, it says Lucifer. A certain form of Lucifer that resembles the Sabotage group, which resembles Kiss. Now again, this is the idea. This female is like a point of reference for females who have been sabotaged, especially rock and roll females, especially poor females, especially immigrants and thugs and so on, and women of color and so on and so forth. Okay, and poor white females in small white towns are addicted to methamphetamines. You know, biker chicks, right? Harley Quinn. And there's San Quentin, and the famous rapper San Quentin, somewhat famous. He's locally famous in the Bay Area. Okay, there's all kinds of connections there. Dynamite, right? Ticking time bomb. And she has a kind of gay, think about it as a gay guy. It's a gender neutral way. Think about her, look at her body here if you don't believe me. Look at her, you know, that's a popular kind of lesbian gender neutral body. Okay, that kind of shape, you know, kind of workout routine, right? Diet and Didi. Okay. So here we have the Addams family. Okay. Notice they're making a kind of, they're like trying to, you know, act like it's not a big deal, but it's satanic. Here we have Illuminati, karate party. Okay, over here, this female who killed, who's said to assist in the murder of Vanessa Guillen at Fort Hood. Recently, there was another Fort Hood scandal with another dead body. Okay, She resembles this Illuminati karate party person, and you see Satan right here, dressed as some kind of martial artist, holding a bag that's labeled Satan, a gym bag. Gym is a play on words for mage in game, because the vowels, vowel, L, are interchangeable. That has to do with occult cut-ups. These types of groups, basically all these groups right here you see, are into the occult. Van Damme, looking like this is Apollo, who in the Bible is Apollyon the Destroyer, because technology, knowledge, and taking advantage of knowledge and technology to ruin things is a part of it. Here's another depiction of Lucifer. Okay, it says the singularity. It has there's an example of a occult cut up, ironically. It says singularity, right? With the sin, the word is cut up into singularity. Okay, you see that? It says Lucifer's rebellion and transhumanism's revenge, right? Transhumanism, that has to do with technology, right? Transhumanism, using technology to transcend in a sick way. That's not true transcendence, the world and the limitations of your genes. So gene modification, transhumanism, all that, right? Eugenics, what have you. Okay, pretty straightforward. Hopefully you're following me. Any questions, feel free to ask. You see a female, she looks like she's Indian or maybe Hispanic, or I don't know what she is. Certain type of Indian that isn't so dark-skinned, okay? Throwing up a satanic symbol, and she has a very serious and evil look in her eyes. Here's another kiss thing where they're like, it's like a circus, and they're like spinning around, woo, woo, right? They're confused, and they're confusing people. Okay. Here I depict me as an angel. Okay, we'll take a moment here. An angel with certain sharp swords, right? Sharp double-edged sword of scripture. So I have sharp swords, short swords for more precision strikes. And this is a ceremonial knife of Egyptian pharaohs or something to that effect, or King Tut or something like that. Okay. There's a falcon, and I put falcon wings there. If you look carefully at these falcon wings, I didn't do this on purpose. There's like some kind of face here. If you look, it's like sideways, right? There's the mouth. It's like a weasel or something. They do things like that to mock, because remember, it goes back to the pantomime, right? A mime, a mock. And to some degree, these people are dressed like, black and white for the checkered floor of Freemasonry and the pantomime and mocking. Mock king. King. Gangstalking. Okay, occult cut-ups. Again, here's another example of it. Here's an example of it. Singularity. Okay. We got some other stuff to go through, so let's... All right. So, Alicia Keys says, girl on fire. It's a play on words for her soul's on fire. That's why I put this next to her, someone rotting. Inside, she's rotting and becoming evil because she's in the repetition of being a Luciferian celebrity. This female, I should have put the video I found her in, it said that she bragged that she slept with over 600 people. Look at her eyes. She tattooed her eyeballs. Okay, and she tattooed a broken heart there and a butterfly, the symbol of Psyche, who, in Greek mythology, okay, is where we get the word psychology, and is put in a trance and is taken advantage of by the Greco-Roman deities, including Pan, who's the devil on the tarot card. You can't make this up. So you see these fires, right? She's on fire, right? So I put this there to help you understand. These people are disassociated. Harley Quinn is disassociated. Look at they look almost identical. Disassociation. It's induced disassociation. Now, whether it's a disorder, obviously it's a disorder of the brain and the mind, obviously. It has to do with brain function. Your brain gets affected as your mind gets affected because of brain activity and neuroplasticity and neural pathways, okay, and neuroreceptors and how the brain operates and functions. Okay, here we have this female. She's like a common, this kind of way that women have about them, is a common like sex cult type. And I'm not saying she is or isn't in one, but it's a common look they have, okay? It's like, rich person's, female club where they try to influence other rich people to spend money and join their cultures and their corporations so they can social engineer the world, and they send a bunch of females that have her way about her out there. Here's Kelly Bundy from the Bundys. Now here is an example of military mind control, military grade psychology. I've said this many times in my videos, maybe at least 20, where I say they're using military grade psychology. It's the psychology that you use to train soldiers to change the way they think, so that you can prepare them to go to war and not hesitate to do drastic things like kill people and torture people if they work for certain units, like the CIA units in wars and so on and so forth. Okay, so here's an example of a serial killer who's said to behead his victims according to this YouTube channel. It has 323,000 views. Okay, that's what that K means after the 323K. Okay, so again, these guys are not playing. There's a bunch of crazy people that they influence to do acts to bring in for lack of a better word, the corporate state's agenda for the world, whatever you would call that, we'll say. And again, it's military grade psychology. So there's crazy corporatists. There's guys like this who are kind of occultists who go into the wordplay and spend all day or something working on the wordplay. And there's a reason why he resembles the Dumb and Dumber guy. This guy right here. Look at him carefully, and look at this guy, right? But this guy he's dumb in a way that causes him to fixate. It's like OCD, but it's not quite that, because it's being, it's something that this person is being kind of almost forced to do, but not forced, right? They're being directed to play the role of like a quote unquote magic trickster, right? They often refer to Inky, one of their favorite deities, as the trickster, to work on wordplay all day. Now here, you see it says parable, right? And again, this shows you, it says rape, right? Blah, and a pair, a Baal, right? Bible, Baal, the deity Baal is another name for Baal. Okay, so we see that, and again, the Bible has more than one interpretation, but it's made confusing. Bel's the deity of storms, merchants, confusion on purpose. It goes back to corporations, merchants, right? Sailors, right? The Navy, right? Maritime admiralty law, maritime, right? Virgin Mary marrying somebody, what have you. Knave, right? Navy, knave, E, and then seals, right? Sealing people in hell. Now we see it has a satanic symbol. I put this over it because I didn't want to print out a satanic symbol and put it in my house. I'm not superstitious or something, but I do not like the thought of that. So I put an evil satanic symbol they use to hell with those who embrace Satanism. I took this picture to connect satanic witchcraft to slavery historically and show how these spirits still curse mankind today. This is the end of any chance of a decent life in the flesh. No one should be reproducing. You need to understand that. As victims of gangstalking and people interested in it, you need to understand that. Okay? I don't think the rich should reproduce more than anyone else, but you have to understand the situation. We'll get to that in another video. Okay. Here it says, horrific ways black slaves were killed, and we see this female who looks like Margaret Sanger, but I don't think she is. Maybe she is. And she looks, look at her carefully. 3, 2, 1. She looks very much like this female. Now, the black slaves, or I think this might be in Belgium, okay, or the Congo or something. Excuse me, not Belgium, I mean in the Congo, okay. The black slaves that they're using, look at that. They have a certain occult look to them. We'll get to this in a second, the difference between them and me. Okay, look at their face. 3, 2, 1. Now look at my face. Okay, sabotaged. You can see the kind of goodness in me. And look at her right there. We'll get to this. We're almost out of time, so I'm going to shoot through this. Okay, notice she has this kind of, I'm an empower occultist way about it. The word Set, again, Zeus's equivalent, Baal's equivalent, Egyptian deity of rape, storms, torture, principles of evil, rape by deception, confusion, what have you, associated with the jackal and the boar and the hippo, and by default, to some degree, the bull, because the bull and the hippo have a lot in common. Okay. Set is a play on words for seat. And the word Isis, Asar, Aset, and Heru goes back to seat. Asar, Aset, right? So they're saying Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Asar, Aset, and Heru. Aset is a play on words for seat, right? Who sits on the seat? And they try to make it seem like if they get the hot chick, and there's some kind of goon, say this guy married an attractive female who was my daughter or something, they're trying to pretend that somehow magically justifies his rule, right? And that's a key part of their rape cult tradition. In fact, you see Lucifer here, and he's sitting on a seat. And here's Skull and Bones, they're sitting on a seat, and usually they're sitting in a way that is an angled position, okay? And that's part of where this cross-leg stuff comes from, and so on and so forth. And you see this guy cross his arms over the cross there, and the crossroads, and Jesus on a cross, and so on and so forth. And that goes back to the stick fighting and the tree of knowledge, the stick fighting the tree, okay? The tree of life, tree of knowledge, the family tree, what have you. So we have the Dumb and Dumber, we have the scatterbrain. Again, brain function. Part of what these guys do is they take a large percentage of people, in particular with this culture, white people, and they make them into idiots who can't think for themselves, who are just sheep, for the New World Order, for them to pretend that they're the most evolved. So people like her and people like, rich corporatists will be like, hey, we're important, and they'll look more like this or something, but, even more healthy looking than that, right? There's like a order to it, right? It's an order of genes and gene expression. That's part of why they made it so it's hard for me to wear clothes. They do something to my clothes where I can't wear nice clothes in public, and in my shoes and so on and so forth, so I look bad. This is actually scratches on the mirror that came here. I have another picture. We'll get to that another time. Almost out of time, so let's just shoot this. So here was this massacre, the Gohan massacre between the Norteños and the Sureños. This female right here looks like my ex-girlfriend right here. And notice it says, I miss you, baby. I love our cuddle time, right? You can tell I'm a good